this leadership challenge is really important because I've been getting people to think about what's their next 100 days look like when work opens. And part of that's offense, since aligning security and a key CIO and digital decision makers for how are they going to help their business make money. And then there's the piece about security where we have to figure out how do we make security more agile and portable so that we can play offense, because businesses are going to want to add revenue, take care of customers. So now we have this distributed workforce, and how do we handle that moving forward? How do people handle the next 100 days from a security point of view, in your opinion, Shan?
So I think the next 100 days is going to be critical, right? So over the last 2 months, we saw a tremendous amount of people make a sharp right turn right into securing their remote workforces with, VPN spike licenses or whatever they needed to do, secure remote access. And now that we have a very, very remote yet not entirely mobile workforce, people are trying to get back to regular business, right? And be as productive as they can. So you have a multitude of folks who took their security priorities and had to shift them. And now we've got to kind of shift them back a little bit to the mainstream. So where we super focused on remote access, now we need to start looking at the other ways our employees can access our information, right? So for cloud security, Office 365 is predominant. Most cases, your users can now access it from anywhere, whether they're VPN'd in or not. So how are you protecting that data? And staying on top of threats, because they're not decreasing with COVID-19.
So what do you think, James, for the next 100 days? I mean, we're seeing this very tactical increase. It's funny, I run these groups as always strategy focused, but in times of real intensity, human beings get narrow and they get very tactical and practical and less thinking about the future, because we're trying to figure out short term. Initially it was, how do I get people remote access? But now we got to start looking at how we secure our cloud. Many of us were dipping our toes in the water with cloud. Now we're there at scale. So what do you think, James?
I mean, we're seeing kind of two interesting things happen. One that we're seeing is the folks who are using G Suite that didn't necessarily care much about security before are now asking, what else can I do? And so previously, they weren't necessarily too worried about cloud app security, things like that. But now that they're really out there, people aren't coming into the office. There's more and more concern about viruses and malware. So we're starting to see the G Suite people join the Microsoft people in terms of caring about security. So that's been interesting for us. The other piece that we're seeing is we've heard a lot about people adopting the cloud. And then the requests that we're getting are folks that see they thought they were adopting the cloud and now they're really adopting the cloud. And so they're escalating from they're using it a little bit to everyone's using OneDrive every day completely. And there's a lot more fear now in terms of, well, how am I securing that? What's coming in there? We have a lot for the next, especially for the next 100 days of, how many devices are they using and are they actually the business devices? And I can say from talking to a lot of clients, they're no longer really using the business devices. They're on their bigger home machines or they're sitting on their couch with a tablet, and they've really disseminated what endpoint devices they're looking at. So that need for security, they can't just rely on, oh, it's on my business computer, so I'm safe because I have my next gen AV on my PC and I'm good to go. So we're starting to see that swing of the antivirus component and the zero-day protection component of CAS really building up.